Ladies and gentlemen.
Poseidon's going.
My what?
What? Carry on,
what?
please. Nothing.
This is episode 39, everybody, of the Green Series podcast.
Really?
Yeah, it's a woodworking podcast.
Oh. About nothing. Sorry. I had to do that.
So before we get into the episode, Jason, you want to tell everybody about the June giveaway?
If this is your first podcast, press 1 now.
Dude, every time we start, my mom calls me, man.
It's a sign. Your mom is so proud of you and your podcast.
Mm-hmm. Does she want to be on the podcast with us?
Oh, we should totally have her on the podcast.
You can ask Ben questions.
Okay, the giveaway. So obviously, let's see, we're recording today. It's still May, but this is the first June episode. So we don't have our May winner just yet. But for the month of June, everybody, we have 2 amazing giveaways going on. And of those 2 giveaways, we have 3 winners. So here's the first giveaway and the stipulations. It is again from Leather by Dragonfly, our good friend Michelle and her unfortunate significant other Patrick.
Mouse Pads by Patrick.
Mouse Pads by Patrick. Which they are sold on the Leather by Dragonfly website. So if you guys want to check out Mouse Pads by Patrick, definitely check out Leather by Dragonfly. Anyways, they're giving away a Sidekick XL. He's going to love this. Sidekick XL.
I'm just trying. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just picturing Patrick like in this dark abandoned corner of their shop, and he's just pressing his little mouse pads, but he's all happy about it.
Yeah.
He said he'd work on a sedge tool leather thong too for me.
He's probably listening to this right now with his headphones on across the shop, and he's cursing us. And Michelle knows immediately that we are talking trash about. He's got like a little bowl of crayon shavings, and he's like eating it. Yeah. Okay. Back to the giveaway.
Right.
This is big news, guys. Sidekick XL. If you don't know what a Sidekick XL is, go to leatherbydragonfly.com. Check it out. I have had it in some posts. Quite a few people out there actually have this. It's basically a leather drop leg. It attaches to your belt. It has a couple of clips. Kind of like a Sedgley idea where it goes on your belt, but different, right? Longer. Really, really good if you're, in the carpentry field or doing trim work and that kind of stuff to carry small tools that you need at all times, measuring tape, that kind of stuff. Anyways, go check it out, leatherbydragonfly.com. That is open to all of the U.S., correct, Ben?
Yes. Yeah.
All of the U.S., no state restrictions. Now we'll talk about giveaway number 2. During the month of June, we have partnered with U.S. Tool and Fastener.
Woohoo!
And they're giving away 2 prize packages. The first prize package is going to be, I'm going to save the good one for the second prize package. First prize package is a $100 gift card to U.S. Tool and Fastener.
Oh, I want to win that one.
You can't win.
Oh, come on.
U.S. Tool and Fastener, $100 gift card. That will be for one lucky winner. The grand prize from U.S. Tool and Fastener, everybody, is going to be a Festool Cool Tainer, a Festool Top Rock Sustainer, the new stereo sustainer.
Ooh. I heard about that.
Yeah, wireless Bluetooth speaker, and a set of koozies. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that they're calling this like the Festool Party Pack. So you got a cooler with your music and some koozies for the beer that will go in the cooler.
A couple of floozies?
Koozies.
Oh, koozies. Oh, okay.
Koozies.
So it's floozies with koozies.
That's a really impressive giveaway.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was talking to Ryan over at U.S. Tool and Fastener, when he told me the prize packages, I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Our audience is going to be ecstatic.
Well, yeah. When
somebody
you told me, I was like,
win.
"Wait." I was like, "That's 1 month that they're doing that." I thought it was going to be like
1 month.
Wow, that's killer.
A cool tainer and a top rock to one winner, and somebody's getting $100 gift card. I mean, that's That's pretty impressive. So to enter, their giveaway is only open to US minus Hawaii and Alaska, much like the Bessie giveaway. Sorry, guys, we don't control that. But to enter, just go over to greensuiterspodcast.com and enter there for the said giveaways. And at the end of the month, or on the 1st of July, we'll pick some lucky winners. So huge thank you to Leather by Dragonfly for a second month in a row. And a huge thank you to US Tool and Fastener. I know that somebody is going to be very excited to win that. So
dude, definitely go enter. That is a hell of a giveaway, man. Like when you told me that, I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
That's awesome. That
is awesome.
Wow.
I have both of those and I kind of want to win it.
Yeah.
Wow. This is the first time I'm hearing about the giveaway. That's wicked.
Just so I can have one upstairs in the bedroom,
Holy
cooler right next to the bed. Nice cool table for my beers.
So I can have one in the
Sidekick XL that I can wear. I have a Sidekick
in the second shop.
Nice, man. Oh, okay. So that's the giveaway stuff. Just so everybody knows, tonight was supposed to be a patron sponsored episode. However, we did not get a topic for tonight. So we have a good topic that we will talk about. But do you want to talk about what we've been up to?
Yeah, I think we can briefly go over it.
Jason, what have you been up to?
You kind of inspired me, Mr. Bent.
Did you see my holiday catalog or calendar?
No. Being in the shop with you and thinking about space and everything. Marianne finally talked me into a utility shed out back.
Nice.
Because I'm going to get I love gardening. I love lawn work. I know I'm a weirdo, but I keep moving all the crap to get around stuff and I'm tired of it. So we went and looked at out in Crawfordsville, Yoder Storage Barns. A wicked nice guy, Tim Yoda, who was recommended by my buddy Steve Wade, who runs the warehouse where I work during the day. Oh my God. And I thought about it and I went and looked at Schlo's and it, they're not really 16 on center. This guy builds. He's a dealer, but he also custom builds. So it's a Hoosier shed and it's an 8x12. I just ran it. I submitted my HOA crap tonight. That should take about 8 months. You know how that goes. But
hopefully
I'm really
take 8 months.
I'm really stoked. It'll give me room for my new bandsaw that's on the way. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And then just getting ready to do some more organizing in the shop. I'm going to have all that extra space, where Marianne's potting shed is stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm going to rip that countertop that I built off and probably build that out. I'll have all 4 of those cabinets for more storage. So I'm going to tidy up the place and I'm really stoked about it. So that's what I've been up to. I'll have that probably, it takes 30 days, they say, with the HOA, but we know somebody on the board. So maybe I can get it run through pretty quick and I can go. He says
doubt it'll take that long.
He said it takes 2 weeks to get it and he delivers it, levels it, gives a 6-year warranty on it. And if it ever goes out of level, he'll come and level it for me. It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that this week. I want to build one because I think it'd be good content.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I don't know. I definitely need to do the same for sure, but that's exciting.
Well, the thing is,
because you got quite a few things in that shop that don't need to be in there.
Oh my God. I keep moving. That big wheelbarrow I get.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I've had it for 15 years. It's awesome. It's that Rubbermaid one. It's wicked rugged, but I'm constantly moving it.
Yeah.
So
it has wheels.
What was really cool is I ripped some cardboard and did a wire frame of the size of it so Marianne could see it. And I put right where we're going to do 3 feet from the easement. And she looked at it, she goes, that's really cool. And I go, what are you doing? Where our chairs are out underneath the maples we have. Mm-hmm. She's sitting there. I go, what are you doing? She goes, I'm landscaping already.
Oh, nice.
She's digging it. I think it's going to be cool. So
there's other houses in the neighborhood that have little sheds in that neighborhood, right?
Oh yeah, we're allowed to have them. It's just that you gotta have match the color and match the shingles. There's some people don't know, they don't even have it close, but they're still there.
Yeah, same here.
So I'm hopefully it gets run through pretty quick and I can get it in probably by July. I'm hoping. So no windows, nothing, just one single door in the front. The door's going to face my garage door, on the side. And I'm stoked. It'll be fun.
Nice.
You know what it is? It's kind of like a breath of fresh air, getting all the gardening tools out of there.
Oh yeah.
I'll have all that
That
space.
whole wall is covered in stuff that
I know. Yeah. I know. And then I got to call James because I got to get got some 220 run in for a few things. So
I had a guy write me today. He's building out a shop. He lives in Indy, and he was asking me if I had put any kind of like moisture barrier or anything like that in the walls, over the insulation, all that stuff. And I was basically like, no. But anyway, he was somebody that reached out and asked me for James' information, and he's been having a bunch of electrical work done by James, and he said that he's like, he has been invaluable.
Oh yeah.
In helping me figure out what I truly need and where things should go. So he was just like, I just wanted to say thank you. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, no,
James
he's such a great kid. What a great James Taylor. Marianne just loves him too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna when I get the 220 in, I'll probably have him back up, and I'm gonna have him run some more 110s. I am so deficient in electrical in that shop, and I just got to call the roofer out because those fake dormers. I get that leak, but that only happens in the springtime, and I don't have ice damming, so I got to figure that out because I'm going to build some SysAZ cabinets that I'll do content on.
Nice.
It'll be kind of cool. So that is what I have been up to. Ben, what have you been up to?
Guys, I'm back in the closet.
I see that.
I'm currently at my brother's in Northwest Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, and I'm gonna finish the last leg of my trip on Thursday and Friday. So I've got a little over 500 miles left, and yeah, just been riding the motorcycle. I had quite the snafu last night, where I had to get towed to a charging station. So,
shoot.
The Midwest corridor, at least the area that I was driving through, so between Indianapolis and Nashville, there's a few charging locations, but they're pretty far apart, like just on the outside of my normal range. And so yesterday was my longest day that I'd ridden. Yesterday was just over 400 miles, and it was also the farthest distance between points for me to charge. And so last night I had my GPS set to one of my second to last charging stations, and I'm on the Kentucky Expressway, which there's no exits on the expressway. There's only service stations, and that's it. So like there's plenty of overpasses and stuff, but you can't exit. Well, my GPS just decided to have a snafu and had me on the expressway and said that the charging station was out pretty much in the middle of a swamp. And so I'm I'm past the edge of my range. Like I've already reduced my speed just to try to make it. When the GPS says you have arrived, I'm at 0% on the battery, 0% mileage remaining, and I'm stuck on an expressway. I can't get off unless I drove, 20 miles in the direction that I was heading. And so I'm like, and I recorded, this is all on camera. This is going to be on my YouTube channel, my motorcycle YouTube channel. And the GPS had led me 13 miles past the charging station. So like when I got on the expressway, it was actually behind me. It was like I didn't even get on anywhere near it. So I literally, and this is the first time this has ever happened, where I drove until the bike just stopped. Like it just said emergency shutdown, and it shut itself down. And I was like, crap, man. And Called, got on my phone, which had like maybe 10% left on my phone. So it was like everything was like, was really pushing the limits of, of everything I was doing. But eventually got a tow truck out. Um, he towed me to the charging station I was supposed to go to, which again was 13 miles in the opposite direction. Got charged and then eventually made it here
Oh shit, man.
around 11:30 last night, and it was pouring raining the entire time, and that's probably also why I'm feeling a little sick. But it's not really a journey. It's not really a trip if everything goes right. You know, I think that's kind of part of the process is you kind of get thrown into situations that are not. I mean, I think that it would be a really boring trip if nothing happened. You know,
Friction makes you tougher, baby.
yeah, and obviously it's gonna turn into really good content because I was able to record all of it as it was happening. You know,
Yeah, man. How do you get
Did
through?
you get the part where you were
like
crying? Is that on
Some
camera?
of some of the motorcyclists like pulled up. He's like, "Hey man, you okay?" I just started crying uncontrollably. But
Snot running down your face.
but today was already a planned rest day, so I'll head out in the early morning.
You're at your brother's
Tomorrow.
house?
Yeah, I'm at my brother's now,
Cool.
and so just kind of spent the day with him, caught up on some of the podcast stuff, and
Cool.
getting ready for the journey home.
And
Jason,
beers with
what
the
do you-
boys.
That's right, on Friday. Jason,
My
what have you been up to?
favorite.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be ridiculed if I ever miss another episode.
I mean,
No. I mean, apparently
I'm in the middle of a
too much about my
motorcycle
shop.
trip, and I'm
Just
making
saying.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
making the effort to be on the podcast.
You guys were so incredibly rude to me.
What?
I was laughing my butt off because of Hans's sleep sounds. I don't think Sedge heard it.
Yeah, said just listen to the beginning of all the recent podcasts.
Okay.
No,
Says-
just listen to the
yeah.
beginning of the one that you two were on that I missed. So
Okay.
2 weeks ago. Hans's sleep sounds. God. I told Ben that it was his best work yet. What have I been up to? All the usual stuff, everyone. Not getting the things done that I want to get done. But I did get my mini split installed. For the few listeners, check it out. You can see it on this video that you can't watch.
Is there a silver play button back there?
No, not yet. Not yet. No, I'm making a wooden chain, so I can wear around my neck for the podcast.
Like Flava Flav.
Yeah. And I got the frame and the insulation, installed for the garage door. So this weekend, the plan is to finish that and get the miter saw station installed and just knock stuff out in the shop and get going. I need access to the walls and places to put things away so I can get started. I hope to accomplish a lot this weekend. The only problem is that, so I'm off Friday and Monday because of Memorial Day. Well, so is Leo's daycare. So Leo will be home Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So that's going to present some challenges, obviously, but I'll get as much done as I can.
We'll see you on Monday.
Is it on Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said Memorial Day, but I didn't know if he meant like Memorial Day weekend and we were doing it Sunday or something.
That'll be fun, man, hanging out with Mr.
Yeah,
Bush.
Yeah, I want to get stuff done. I actually really need to order some dust collection fittings here, like in the very, very near future, because I can't do my dust collection until I get the additional pieces that I need. So
yeah, but the most important thing you built recently was that playset.
Yeah, I'm a home builder now, Ben.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, basically a home builder. He loves it. I'm really glad that we did that, and it's pretty good quality. They forgot to send one of the slides, but actually, I've been kind of upset with Home Depot lately kind of had a sour spot for them, but they did do a really good job of taking care of this problem. They didn't send a slide, so I called them. They're like, you're going to have to go through the vendor. But what they ended up doing is refunding us the cost of just the slide individually, and then giving me the contact information to the person at the company I needed to place the order with. So essentially they paid it and they'll just ship direct to me. So that was good, but they've been disappointing me a lot over the past year. I think I'm pretty much officially a Lowe's customer now.
I'm a Lowe's guy. People know me.
Well, that and there's no Home Depot close by, but ever since I passed the opportunity to work with them on a campaign because they wanted me to promote Milwaukee stuff that was a direct conflict with Festool, I think I got blacklisted. And so they have another program where you can like submit requests to like get partnerships on like a home renovation or DIY project, and they'll like provide materials and all that stuff. I tried to do that with the bathroom, didn't even hear back. Then I got an email the other day and it said, congratulations, you have saved the max amount under the military discount program that you can save for the year. Your discount will reset at the beginning of the next calendar year.
Damn.
Wow.
So
that's really rude.
I didn't know that was a thing, but there's two things that rub me wrong about that. Like, for one, I'm not somebody that really ever asks for military discounts. It drives Nicole crazy, unless it's like a large purchase, because I just feel weird asking for it, right? It's like, hey, I'm in the Army, give me a discount, right? I don't like that. And I think most military people are like that, but big purchases, I will ask. Well, it was never, I think that's a new policy, because I know I've, used it a lot in a year and exceeded whatever $500 cap or whatever it is. The other thing that rubbed me the wrong way is I got an email that said, congratulations. You saved like it was something I achieved. Like, okay, well, I'll just start going to Lowe's and getting the stuff there and not having to worry about being capped on my military discount. You know what I mean? Like I just thought that was silly, but they did do a really good job taking care of the issue with the play set. So I applaud them for that.
That's good.
Okay.
Damn, I'm never going to Home Depot now. That's just badass rude.
I just thought
congratulations.
I just thought it was funny that it said congratulations.
Congratulations.
I thought I won something.
Congratulations. You've lost your discount.
Congratulations. We're going to kick you in the teeth and the balls.
Yeah. You've done such a great job saving money, but we're going to have to stop it. Next year, you can do it all over again. I'm like, all right, well, luckily for me, there's a Lowe's right around the corner. So anybody that's in the military or was prior military and gets the military discount from Home Depot, know that I want to say it's $500. Once you hit $500 for the year, now that it's all tracked through that app, say goodbye to your military discount. So keep that in mind. Lowe's might have the same thing. I don't know. I doubt that they do. But anyway, okay, tonight's topic. This is something I just came up today. We've kind of talked about it briefly on the podcast before it's come up, but what I want to get out of the two of you is your thoughts and your opinions on the idea that somebody pricing in the woodworking field, somebody pricing items low or doing things at a lower cost is detrimental to the entire woodworking community. And before I kick it over to one of you guys to talk about it, I'm going to share kind of my thoughts and also just say, I think this is a good topic because I would assume that most people listening to this probably do try to build things for clients. So pricing is an important part of that. We're not going to get super in depth into like, this is how I price, but I wrote an article on my website early on. Why was that funny?
On pricing?
Yeah. On getting started. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Early on.
Now that makes sense.
Yeah. But no, it was that was really rude. You like laughed like this idiot wrote an article for his website, moron.
I was just thinking of the first edit of one of your articles.
Oh, shut up. Anyways, in that I talked about, early on, like how I price things and what my opinions were and all that stuff. And since then, I've heard so many people on different podcasts, and I was listening to another podcast today, which brought this idea up to talk about it. And this idea that, if I'm building a $6,000 table and Ben is building a table for $1,000, that he's devaluing my work. So I will say this right up front is I cannot even describe to you how much I disagree with that statement. I'll explain why. I think it's silly. I think it's ludicrous. And I'm interested to hear your guys' perspective, especially yours, Ben, because I think you're going to look at this from a market perspective as opposed to a personal opinion perspective. But anyway, who wants to go first? Cedric or Ben?
So I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that I'm getting this right because I'm typing show notes. But so is when someone prices their work cheaper than yours, is that detrimental to? Does that bring down the entire value of the industry?
That's the common conversation that I always hear. Yes.
Okay, so okay, so here's my take on competitive pricing. Okay. If you can provide the same product at a cheaper cost, and when I say cost, I don't mean the end price. I mean that could be a part of the end price. But if you're able to make a product without reducing quality, and you have less overhead, and therefore you're able to transfer that savings to the final price point, then it's not. That's just the nature of competitive pricing. If Jason, if you and I make a TV tray, right? For the most part, it is the exact same thing. It requires the same amount of materials. It may look a little bit differently, but for the most part, it's the same. If I'm able to source the materials cheaper, or if I'm able to manufacture it cheaper, that means that I'm able to, and if I can sell it cheaper than you to be competitive, and it's the same thing, I don't see how that's detrimental. That's just competitive pricing. Where I think it works in favor of the market is when people try to make the same thing and they make it cheaper and it's less quality. To me, I would think that all that's going to happen is that that's going to train people in the market to not buy cheap. You know what I'm saying? To not buy the bottom dollar. That's what I think would naturally happen. Now, could there be people that get burned by it? I'm never going to buy from Etsy again. Well, yeah, but that's going to happen anyways. But either way, I don't see how it is ultimately detrimental, because if you buy cheap and it is cheap, like, you're going to get that quality. But if you're buying cheap and it's still the same quality, then that's the fair price of the market. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Sedge?
This is a bunch of different levels here that are happening, but I'm all about competition. Okay. So I couldn't care less what somebody else is selling a product for. I know what my time is worth. Period. The end. Somebody wants to do the thing I get a little ticked off at is when somebody does a direct copy of something original and then, drops their pants on the price so they can get that. That's just rude crap. But I'll take this for instance. Okay. Because I thought, a lot of guys complained who were cabinet installers in Fort Lauderdale. Okay. Where going rate back. Okay, so you guys can hack me on my age, but going rate back in the 80s and 90s was about anywhere from 50 to 60 bucks a box to hang or install. But there were a lot of people that came to this country or came to South Florida that they didn't have a pot to piss in. And it kept going down and down and down, where a lot of guys left the area, moved up to the north because people were hanging boxes for $10 a box. Okay. But were they getting the craftsmanship? Hell no. But in their countries where they came from, they woke up in the morning and the only thing they were looking for is how they're going to feed their kids. So there's a give and take on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys follow me on this?
Yeah.
Okay. But here's what I'll say about beginning pricing. Okay. There's a lot of people who are beginning and they get into woodworking and they just freaking love it. They're passionate about it. And then somebody asks them, hey, can you build something for me? After they've built a few pieces and they're over the house having a couple of beers, and they go, hell yeah. But where you learn, I truly believe this, is when you build something and you put a ton of time into it, but you underpriced it. You didn't consider your time, but you're stoked because you learned a lot in building this. So the next one, if you continue, then you start to value your time more. But there's a lot of people who will build because they just love to build in the beginning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And does it devalue? No, because I'm going to get the price. I get the price. So I'll tell you, when we walked in and we were, people go, man, that's kind of high, your quote. Because I go, yeah. And they go, well, why is it so high? I go, because you get him. And they go, what do you mean? I go, you get Mikey. Because his attention to detail is unfounded. It's unbelievable. Okay. You're going to get a high quality box. You're going to get high quality doors. It's going to be installed. We're not going to walk away. You'll have us for as long as you want us on all those kitchens or whatever, baths, whatever. You know what? You're selling yourself. So all three of us, okay, we could all build the exact same thing. Everybody's going to buy from each of us because they like us.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't devalue. If I sell a kitchen for 42,000, you sell it for 39,000. Does that devalue it? No, they're going to buy from me because they like me.
Mm-hmm.
Follow?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many levels here that you can talk to, selling your product or when you're getting started, people willing to do anything to make some money so they can feed the family. I get it.
Right. And that's the thing,
it's
is
experience.
I want
your experience.
I want to unpackage some of those different aspects, because it's not just as simple as saying, yes, it devalues and no, it doesn't. And you brought up a ton of good points, but here's the way I look at it. I absolutely disagree that it devalues the community. And here's why.
I agree.
If Mike down the street is making farmhouse coffee table or farmhouse dining room tables with construction grade lumber from Lowe's and Home Depot and selling them for $400 or $500, and he's making $50 on them, and he slaps them together and they're junk, right? If he's making those and selling those to customers, does that affect me if I'm somebody that's selling a table that price is going to start at $3,000 to $4,000? Does it affect me at all? No. And here's why. The customer that's buying the $4,000 walnut dining room table is not looking for the guy that's building a $400 construction grade pine table. So he's not my competition. So whatever he's doing doesn't devalue me in any way, shape, or form at all. He can make whatever he wants because his client is never going to buy from me. The client that's looking to spend $4,000 is not even considering a $400 table. So I don't see where the problem is. Where I do see the issue where it's devaluing, and this is almost irrelevant when you're talking about the lower priced items, is Mike selling it for $400 and Steve across the street is selling it for $375. Sure, that might be affecting the other guy, right? A little bit. He's losing customers, but it's a completely different market. And the argument that somebody at a lower level a more entry level, as much as I don't want to say that because I'm not trying to degrade anybody, but somebody that's getting into this business, thinking that they're the competition of somebody who has been in the business for 20 years is absolutely ludicrous, right?
Mhm.
It's totally ludicrous because it's a completely different market. If that was the case, Walmart and Pottery Barn wouldn't exist. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So for somebody to make the argument that like, oh, when you're pricing your stuff low, you're devaluing the community. Well, no, you're not, because they're a different market. If
Yeah.
Walmart is
Correct.
lowering the prices of their stuff in their store, are they devaluing shopping?
Mhm.
No, they're not devaluing shopping. They're catering to a client base
I,
that can afford those items.
Walmart versus Neiman Marcus, Harbor Freight versus Woodcraft, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got different clientele. And I will never belittle people for, I'll never forget this, where somebody would say, oh, what do you got? That Sears Craftsman? Where'd you get that? Sears and Rubbish? And they would insult somebody. And one time I pulled somebody aside and I said, you're a horse's patoot. You don't know where that guy needs to be. You don't know if he's got 10 kids,
Yeah.
but he has to start his woodworking business somewhere.
Yeah.
Guess what? I was one of those guys that I had to go get I think I told this before in the podcast. I had to go get a extremely cheap jigsaw because I had this curved part, and this was forever ago. Yeah. Abraham Lincoln needed something curved. And it's getting to the point where I'm even
the bow
hacking
saw, right?
myself now. But I'm serious. I won't belittle anybody because people need to start somewhere. But I'm in a different marketplace now because, I know I'm a little wiser in my not old age, but because I just turned 32. So
yeah, times two.
Whatever.
So I'm sorry that I wasn't there for it, but so Sedge, what was your main point behind it? Behind your perspective of it?
Everybody has to start somewhere, and I do not think it devalues because there's different markets, and I think across the board we're all on that point. There's different markets, and you don't know someone's purse strings, and you got to be very careful with that.
Yeah.
But as experience comes, then you can start charging.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a different client.
Exactly.
Yeah. If someone, again, going back to the TV tray analogy, if someone is able to figure out a way to make the same product for less cost and it without diminishing quality, and someone's upset about that, well, then you probably need to look at how you're doing it, because if someone else can figure out a more efficient way of doing the same thing, you're the one that's not in the wrong, but you're the one that's missing out. If that is what is possible, that's the true. That's where the market's at, and you're missing something. But if someone is like dropping the value of the same thing, and they are losing money, and this is what happens with people that are brand new to it, they're going to figure out that that's not a sustainable way to do it, and they're going to increase their prices. Like, it's, again, the market's going to tell them what to do. Mm-hmm. So either they increase their prices or they just stop selling that item altogether. But don't get mad because someone sells the same thing that you make for cheaper. You can't get mad about that. That's the market. Like, that's how it is. I mean, yeah, it sucks and everything, but
you're selling your experience.
You're in selling sales, yourself.
You are selling you.
Yes,
and your product, but you are selling. What's the difference between your table and that table? You got to educate your buyer. You have to educate them but what you're doing is you're selling yourself and you're selling your product.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that pocket hole timber Home Depot Southern Yellow Pine table that you throw together on the weekend versus a beautiful walnut table that's $3,000 versus $100, $200? You got to educate them. And then they go, oh, And if you do it in a nice fashion, go, man, I really like that person, and they seem
Mhm.
very sincere. I'll buy from you.
Yeah.
But that's called free trade, or that's what this whole country's based on, is competitive selling or competitive free market, right?
Mhm.
Yes, but even then, I still think that the population of people that would shift from spending $200 to $3,000 is a very small pool. But selling yourself, when you said selling yourself, that brings up another interesting topic on this, and that is, I'll use somebody who I admire and I think builds beautiful stuff and has kind of cornered the market
Jason, you don't have to. It's okay.
on these stupid stools. No, Cliff from Hand Built, right? He builds these
Yep.
beautiful wine credenzas. He builds, like, I don't want to insult him. This isn't an insult, but I want to say, like, there's 5 key staple things that he builds, and he does really well on Etsy. And when you look on Etsy, there's nobody else really that's doing what he's doing at that level.
Mhm.
I want to say he's on Etsy. I think he is. But anyways,
Yeah.
so he'll sell one of his credenzas, we'll say, for $6,000 or $7,000. That's just an example. Now, let's say somebody else builds the exact same thing, right? Exact same thing, excellent quality, and sells it for $3,000. Is he going to lose some customers? Sure. But there are still going to be people who are buying because Cliff is building it, because
Mhm.
he has earned a reputation. He has built his brand, like Ced was talking about. He's selling himself. So
Mhm.
when they buy that, they know that they're getting that amazing quality. So that's where I think the argument has a little bit of validity when you're talking about, I'm building $6,000 tables, good quality $6,000 tables, and John across the street is building $6,000 quality tables, but he's selling his for $5,000. Could I potentially maybe lose some clients? Yeah, absolutely. But that's the market, right? But where
Mhm.
this is especially important, and now I just want to reverse this for one quick second, where I think this argument actually makes the most sense is when you're talking about social media marketing and sponsorships. And that's the other side of this that I wanted to bring up, and where I think it's a little bit more applicable because it's a little easier to compare. So let's say Sedge, me, and Ben all have a YouTube channel that has 200,000 views. Our analytics are the same. Okay. And, Home Depot reaches out to all 3 of us and says, we want to do a partnership. And Ben's like, I'll do a YouTube video for $1,000. And Sedge says, I'll do a YouTube video for $2,000. And Jason says, I'll do a YouTube video for $4,000. That's where I think this is more of a relevant argument.
It is.
Mhm.
It is.
As opposed to because now you're talking about analytics and data. And the only reason I wanted to bring this small portion up, and we don't have to stick on this, is because I've heard this talked about in both the woodworking field and the content creation field. And I think it's way more valid on content creation, because if I'm only asking for $1,000 and everybody else around me that has a similar audience or even larger is asking for way more, it might be a better bang for the buck to go with me. But that's not an end product, right? That's all a numbers game. But I think that argument just goes better here. But I just think it's silly to compare, an inexpensive item to a very expensive item, or a lack of experience to a wealth of experience. That's like saying, if I started woodworking tomorrow and I want to build my first project, and Ben asked me to build him a dining room table, and that's the first thing I build, do I have any, my time is worth $500 an hour. That's what my time is worth, right? Do I have any business charging that kind of money for that table? No, absolutely not.
It's it is more beneficial for a market to have more variety or to have more choices. It is, having competition is incredibly healthy for any market. Like, if anything, you should welcome that with open arms, that people are trying to undersell. Because again, that's only going to breed more competitiveness. It's only going to drive people to really look at their business models or their inventory models and say, okay, are they dropping price because they are just trying to move units? Did they figure out a better way of doing it? And then that means that I can drop my bottom line a little bit. But like one thing that I don't even hear brought up in the conversation anytime this comes up is what about people that overprice purposely? You know, what does that do to the market? You know, does that drive more people to the bottom? Does that drive more people to the middle? Does that drive
That's
more
a
people
very
to the
valid
top?
point.
Mm-hmm.
You can't sit there and talk about people that underprice without talking about people that overprice. You know,
Overpriced and suck.
yeah, or just like, I mean, like, because I do competitor analysis on my Etsy stores. I look at what other people are making that make stools. I see what they're making. I look at the styles, but I also look at the price and the materials. Um, you know, when you see like a $300 walnut stool and it's like a shaker style stool, you're like, what? You know, and again, not like I look at that and I'm saying, okay, how many units have they sold? How many reviews do they have? What are people saying about it? And again, it's like, okay, well, am I missing something? Am I misinterpreting? Am I undervaluing the actual value of selling a walnut stool or buying a walnut stool? And so you've got to look at all those things, but again, don't look at the bottom line without looking at the top line. You know, maybe you could raise your prices. You could, you know.
Well, let's unpackage that for a second. So I'm probably going to get some hate for this. You know, it's at some point if people that don't
You
agree with
always
this,
do.
yeah, listen to
so
it. I actually think that there's a lot of insecurity behind the comment of somebody saying you're pricing your stuff too low, it's hurting the market.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
And I feel like there's insecurity there because maybe they're not getting all the clients that they want, or they're not booked out far enough. What a lot of people fail to understand and realize is that if you're booked out for months, you know, months at a time, let's say 8-9 months, in a lot of cases, one of the big reasons for that is you're probably underpricing your stuff, right? Because everybody's saying yes. Or you're the only person in the area that can do what you do, which means you're probably underpricing your stuff, right? So there's two different ways of looking at it, but everybody shouldn't be saying yes to your products, right? And just because you're either getting customers or not getting customers is not a direct result of somebody else that's underpricing or doing whatever it is. You might want to take a hard look at your own personal structure and find out what the proper pricing is. And that sometimes that takes research, right? Be realistic. Don't underprice it. Don't overprice it. But if you're saying when you sell stuff for cheap, it's cheapening the market and it's affecting me. Well, is it, or is that just a little bit of insecurity for another reason? I think there's a lot to that, because I never cared if a customer said yes, great. If they said no, I don't care, because I knew that there was another customer there. Early on in the beginning, did I want to get every customer I could? Yeah, which is why I priced my stuff lower. But do you think when I stopped building custom work, I was not building anything that I was building when I first started. And I was not building it for the price when I first started. And I was not building it for the same client that I was when I first started. So I never cared. It never mattered to me. I didn't care if there was 20 more people in my area selling on Facebook. At the end, I didn't even care about Facebook. I didn't care about Instagram. I didn't care about any of these websites to try to get clients that way. I tried to get clients from other clients that were good clients having things in their home and their friends calling me. So again, those people probably aren't looking on Facebook to find somebody to build them a dining room table that costs $4,000. The person that's looking on Facebook for a dining room table is willing to spend $500 because they saw something at IKEA and expect it to be the same price. Right? So I'm very passionate about this because like sometimes there was one time right after I released that article that somebody was talking about this on a video. And I almost feel like it was directed specifically to the article that I wrote, just based on the way that it was addressed. And I won't get into specifics on it, but their argument was the complete opposite of mine, right? And I just remember sitting there thinking like, how does the new woodworker at the end of the street affect me? How? I used to be that guy. right? But I'm not that guy anymore, and I'm not looking for his clients. You know what I mean?
You know, Jason, it's like the subscriber analogy. You know, like just because April has over 1 million subscribers doesn't mean that those subscribers are gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they didn't just disappear. So just because you see all these different YouTube channels or businesses, wherever, that have a lot of sales, a lot of customers, a lot of what, like, it doesn't matter. Those people don't go anywhere. You know, like that, it's only going to help. The more people that come into the market, it's only going to drive innovation. It's only going to drive demand for the products. It's only going to create new opportunities. But like when I seen come across new channels or people that are just now starting out, I think it's awesome. That's good for everything. That means that it's a healthy market. When people are still coming into this, it's an indication that it's still healthy.
And creating content. And I think that is so important. I mean, we do get bent, but if I get a negative comment, and not really negative, but kind of douchey, I always go to look. And you guys hear me say this all the time. They don't have any subscribers, or maybe two, right?
Yeah,
and I look at that, and then Jason kind of coached me and said, Sedge, not everybody is creating content. Most of the people on YouTube are just subscribing so they can, watch.
Yeah. So I mean, leave hateful comments.
If you have a Google account, you have a YouTube account. Like, as soon as you sign up for anything Google, you sign up for YouTube, like all of their services. But yeah, again, I 100% agree with you, Jason, that it when people do say that it is coming from a place of insecurity. Yeah. I mean, that'd be like Walmart saying that all the mom and pop shops are driving them out of business.
Yeah. Like, when in reality, it's like the complete opposite, right? Walmart's driving all the mom and pop shops out of business, but that's because they provide a service and have way more inventory. But that goes back to the whole conversation of supply and demand, and can they, do this? But again, people that shop at Walmart are not the same people that shop at Neiman Marcus, right? Or Goldman Sachs or Versace or whatever. It's a different market. It's not the same. But there is a market for Walmart. There is a market for Prada. There is a market for Pottery Barn. There is a market for custom and only custom. There are people with small budgets that want custom, and there are people with very big budgets that want custom. But the person building those things is not the same person.
This makes me think of, and I really can't remember who I heard this from. My initial guess was that it was a story that Sedge told me, and I could be making this up in my head. I don't know, but I want to say that there was a story where someone was at a trade show, and they were working the festival booth, and someone that was at the conference or whatever this event was came up and was saying like, oh, I can't believe how expensive these tools are, and like this and that. And the person just said, well, then it's not for you.
Yeah.
Like, that is like any time that someone says something negative about, or to my comment, or sends me a message or whatever, saying how, oh, well, this, you should have done this, you should have done that, or this is stupid. I'm like, well, this video is not for you. Yeah. Like my video, 6 ways to haul plywood and all you own is a car. So many people, that's probably one of my most of my negative comments are on that video, which is fine. And people are just saying all kinds of stuff. I'm like, well, then these 6 tips aren't for you. That's the best way to handle it.
That comes right back to the conversation about, God, I just lost my train of thought where I was going to go with that. We had talked about it before. Oh, I can't remember.
Ben, you're
It'll
right.
Come back to me.
And I've used that. I've heard people say that in the festival booth, and it dumbfounds them. They go,
oh yeah,
because they don't own any Festool.
It defangs them.
And I just look at them and I go, Festool's not the solution for everybody. And they just go,
yeah,
and I walk away.
It completely,
because they knew they were being a douche.
Yeah,
They
they're
just like
expecting
to
this.
complain.
They're expecting this argument back and forth. Like they're expecting you to to defend your point and all this other stuff. And it's just like, well, I guess it's not for you. They're just like, it's just like it. You completely deflate them when you do that.
But it's a nice way of doing it. But you wanna teach people about it. But there's just some people, and I don't say it all the time. But if someone just keeps hammering, I go,
Yeah.
it's not the solution for you.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a funny one I had in one of my early trainings with a dealer. He's going, yeah, Jigsaw, it won't. His name was Francis too. He goes, he's probably listening. He goes, you know what? I sold that try-on Jigsaw to a guy, and he needed to cut a 3-inch or 2-inch diameter hole, and he needed to cut a bunch of them. You know what I told him? I wouldn't have sold him for that. I'd sell him a force in a bit. And he went, oh, he didn't know the right solution, and he was selling a Cavac. I mean, a
Who
Trigon.
the hell would want to do that with a jigsaw?
I know.
That's like purgatory.
I know. And I go, why don't you sell him a force in a bit? And he just was like, so at dinner that night, he just looked at me and he just went, God, I didn't even think of that. I go, it's not always a solution for everybody. Or an application. He just wanted to sell that jigsaw. So I get a kick out of it because people overthink things.
Yeah.
Seth, let's talk about something else so that Jason gets derailed again.
Okay.
No,
Hey,
I remember what I was going to say.
Do you like Crocs, Sedge?
I love Crocs.
Stop it. I remember what I was going to say. Now it goes back to the conversation of when we were talking about pricing your items. First question I started asking clients, what is your budget? And if a client says $1,000, I'm not the guy to build your project, period. And if I can complain all I want that there's people out there building $1,000 tables, right? This is not fair. There's people out there that are building $1,000 tables. Here I am, John, and, hey, I want you to build me a table. What's your budget? $1,000. Oh, I'm not going to build it for you. How dare you complain that other people are pricing low if you're not willing to do that? That's why there's other customers at different price points.
Exactly.
That's what irritates me about it so much. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are plenty of other people out there, and I'm happy to give them the business. But I'll tell you right now, if somebody came to me today, now that I don't do client work, unless it's like, the hard sole table that I build or all that, where I'm doing it as more than just a client build. If somebody was to come to me, a neighbor, and was like, hey, I understand you do woodworking. I'd like to have this table built. Like, oh, okay. Maybe it'll make some cool content. What's your budget? $1,000. No, I'm not going to do it. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do it because my time is worth more than that. And I have a million other things I could do that will make me a lot more money. So, but then I can't be the guy that's complaining because there's people out there that will build tables for $900. That's so ludicrous.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to take offense to that, then you need to get out of the market. Yeah. Plain and simple. Get out.
Don't turn away clients because a customer doesn't have the budget to buy your high-priced item, but then complain that somebody else is making those items. That's not your client ever. So why would you complain about that? I am so
and they were never
passionate about this topic.
They were never your client to begin with.
Yes, but how dare you, Ben? How dare you build tables for $1,000?
You can't lose something you never had.
It's just, man, I'm getting fired up right now. God, I'm getting fired up.
Yeah, you are.
Randy.
Feisty.
You're devaluing the community. No, you're not.
No, it's making a healthy community.
Unless me and Sedge are both building exactly identical Maloof chairs and I'm selling it for $3,000 and he's selling it for $10,000, then I'm devaluing it because people are going to buy it from me. If it's the same quality, same everything, I can understand that argument.
It's called price fixing. Saying this is entrepreneurship. Give me a break.
We're in small business for me because I have a silver play button, everybody. And guess what, Gary? I'm retiring.
That was good.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Snuck that one in.
I love it. Yep. He reached out on Festool Live last week, and it just said Gary. Minnie wrote beers. And I went, oh, Gary from Beers. Yeah. At the end how I call everybody out. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's Gary with Beers with the Boys. And I went, Gary Furness, how are you?
I can't believe I didn't talk about that. I had the most amazing day ever the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I walked into work and my retirement orders were there.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about whenever I was there.
You came here?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, I'm
when
sorry.
was that?
Must have been so boring. I don't even remember. Oh, you arrived at like 9:45 at night, kept me up
No,
till
8:30. I checked the text last night. It was
no,
8:30.
it was
Oh no, buddy.
9:45, Ben.
Buddy, I will pull up because Jen
Go ahead.
asked me what time I
Go
got
ahead.
there.
I'm pulling it up too. Ben, 5 minutes sent at 9:22 p.m.
Oh, well, time changed then.
I'm sorry. What were you saying? You're right, Jason.
Oh
I'm
no,
sorry.
I'm
I
gonna
was
show
wrong.
you.
I'm an idiot.
I'm gonna show you.
Did
Five
Hans
Because
come to the house too?
because on
No.
mine, because I'm in another time zone. See? 8:22.
Sorry. Let me show you mine.
You're in the wrong time zone. That's what's wrong.
9:22. 5 minutes. Prepare my chambers. That's what he wrote me. Said.
Oh my god!
All right. Anyways, before we get derailed, I think that was a really good discussion, and I wanted to talk about that. And today just reminded me, and
Cool.
I'm glad that we're all on the same sheet of music, and we can actually bring some clarity to
Yeah.
it from our perspective.
Absolutely.
And just so everybody knows,
Absolutely.
we're right all the time, constantly, 100%.
Jeez.
Well, like I was in an economics class this semester, and that was one of the biggest things that we had discussed was how competitive pricing really drives the health of the market. And if you don't have people that are trying to change things up, then you're going to have a really stale market or a dead one. So
True dat.
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Well, Jason, do you have
drinking.
any? No, you're not.
I just dropped a bomb. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I heard there's a medication that you can get prescribed.
That'll make you sick if you drink alcohol.
I didn't know about that, but a buddy of mine that I work with, he was like, I need to stop drinking so much beer. And he's like, and if I don't do something about it, I'm just going to keep drinking beer. So he got this medicine prescribed. He's like, dude, I took it one time. He's like, I have zero desire to drink.
Is it cocaine?
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
I think it's
Yeah.
cocaine. It's like a white powder you sniff up your nose.
No,
Cocaine,
there's
yeah.
It's Is it ayahuasca?
I have no idea. I haven't asked him.
Is it
I don't
DMT?
know.
Is it
I don't know.
DMT?
Methamphetamines.
No. There's a certain psycho drug that is very well known, but it's illegal. I think it's illegal here in the U.S. So everybody's going to Mexico, and people are taking it and for heroin addictions and other addictions, and it takes them right off of it.
I mean,
So
I'm
there's
not
a lot of.
I wouldn't say that I'm.
Is it
addicted.
ketamine?
Again, I have no idea. I can't remember
Yeah.
what my buddy said it was, but it's a guy I work with. I wouldn't say that I'm addicted to alcohol. I would just say that I constantly want it. I don't know. What does that mean?
Is that addiction?
Is that, yeah. Some people might call that alcoholism.
My hands shake uncontrollably until I drink.
I've just been drinking beer on the weekends lately, and it's
Yeah,
great.
I think I'm going to go back to doing that. My problem is, because typically that's not an issue as long as I'm being active. But ever since this whole move stuff and like all the stress and frustration, said you saw some of that this weekend.
Whatever.
It's. I go on these times just like I'll drink every night, but don't get me wrong. Like I don't want anybody listening to this think that I'm like some raging alcoholic that gets smashed every night. What I'm saying is I drink Michelob Ultra, people, right? And I might drink like 6 to 8 of those a night, but I'm a big dude and that does nothing to me, but I enjoy drinking beer, right? I enjoy it. I'm a grown man, but it gets expensive. I don't know if you guys knew that, but alcohol is not cheap.
Ooh.
Even Michelob Ultra. That was actually one of the reasons why I stepped away from IPAs, because I was tired of spending, $14 on a 6-pack every day.
Yeah. You know how I lost I think almost 18 pounds? I gained back about 5 or 6. I just paired them off in the last 2 weeks. Yeah. I feel 100%. I'm just tired of drinking beer all the time. It sounds funny I say that, but
I mean, honestly, I'm kind of getting to that point too.
Oh.
And I want to say I'm almost getting to the point where like I want to be healthy and like have a lot of energy for my sons. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where my head's at right now, which is why I just made that random comment. I didn't mean to get deep and talk about drinking too much beer, but I don't know why. I was just thinking about that today on the way home as I'm drinking my beer. Like, do you guys understand what I'm saying? You know? But yeah, I don't know, man. I want to be active. Oh, Ben, I was telling you the other day, like I was like addicted to the Peloton stuff up until we started the move process. I haven't been on that thing for like 6 or 7 weeks. And I was telling Nicole, I'm like, I got to get back on a regular routine because I felt better when I was doing that stuff. And now I just feel like crap all the time because I'm drinking beer and I'm eating shitty food and stressing about the shop. And
what's wrong about feeling good when you wake up in the morning and kicking some butt in the gym?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. And that's why I stopped. I mean, you know, I still like, when we hang out, like
turn my basement into
Monday, when we hang out on Monday, I'll pound a few.
You have a basement?
Yeah. Oh, I would have shown it to you if you didn't show up so late.
Oh my God.
Oh, is it like an exterior access only?
No.
Or do you? You can access it from inside.
The door is right at the bottom of the stairs, right across from that little guest bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the basement's huge. It's like 1,100 square foot.
Damn.
Big, wide open room.
Perfect for a beer fridge.
So much room for activity. But Sedge, I was just talking about stopping drinking so much beer. Now I'm going to put my fridge down there for a beer fridge and put it next to the poker table. Anyway, sorry, Ben.
Okay. Do you have any comments this week, Jason?
Oh my God. Where do we start? I just want to read ones from Instagram. Oh, by the way, Ben, that video is over 1 million now.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
Sedge, I had my first Instagram video hit 1 million views.
Real?
Yep.
No shoot.
Yep. The garage door insulation one. And then the one I posted the other day of me putting in the rock wool is about to hit 500,000 views.
Wow, man.
But because of that, there's the song, Ben.
Insulation.
Genius song. All right, hold on. I need to turn that down. Let me do the newest first. I'm going to read some of the ones from this because now that the post has like gone quote unquote viral in the woodworking community. Well, it's not really woodworking, but you know what I mean. It's a bunch of people that don't follow me and it's all the experts telling me how stupid I am. Let's see. The first one, this happens a lot. Mask and gloves. Here's another one. Just the huge gap all around between the door and the frame to worry about. Smiling, laughing face. No gloves.
It's mineral wool.
Hold on, I got some other good ones.
You should have responded. How about that gap between your ears and your head?
Yeah. Here's another one. Meh. Newsflash. They come with insulation already. This just bought the cheapest, worst garage doors there are. Thank you, Yoda.
Thank you, Yoda.
This doesn't work. Buy a thermo break garage door. The skin of the door is steel with the cold air, and the cold air or heat will transfer inside around the insulation. Useless.
Yeah, Jason, spend $9,000 on a new door. Zuh.
Idiots. There's a lot of really good comments, and then everybody and their mom. What is this? What is this? What is this? I just want to say, keep an eye out, tomorrow for the YouTube video. This product is total trash.
You're talking about you, Jason. You're the product.
Yeah. God, there's so many comments on this freaking video.
He's the tool.
Yeah, I guess that's where I'll stop. It didn't really it didn't really get the full effect since Hans did not introduce Get Bent.
Yeah.
You didn't pack the hat, Hans?
I didn't.
Sorry, everybody. Hans is a little under the weather today.
Yes.
I am.
So you hitting the road in the morning?
Yep. 250 miles tomorrow. So
that won't put you home, will it?
No, it's 500 miles until home. But I should make it to the Virginia border tomorrow. But I say it should be an easy day. I've not had one of those yet, so I'm not going to say that.
Are you visiting anybody? You camping out?
Nope. Yeah, just camping out. Watch out
for the freaking bulldozers.
Oh, I know. Hopefully I won't have to camp out in some crazy spot.
That was a bizarre story, man. The steamroller.
Mm-hmm. Coming right up.
Holy shoot.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I was just looking at comments on the newest video that's about to hit 500,000. And apparently Instagram will automatically hide comments that have like cuss words in them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just saw that and I was like, view hidden comments. It says, only an asshole walls off their garage door.
What?
And somebody responded, aren't you just a ray of sunshine?
Are you just a ray of sunshine?
It's funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking your time to listen or watch this episode.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Jason, plug yourself.
Ooh.
On camera? BentsWoodworking.com.
SedgeTool.com.
And I'm Ben Marshall with Marshall Design Works or Ben Marshall Designs on YouTube and Instagram. Thanks so much, everybody. See you in the next episode.
See you later.